So we're going to hop right back outside of Rathir, and we're going to talk to a character called a Fate Weaver. Fate Weavers, traditionally in the history of Amalur, they're sort of fortune tellers. They can read your fate and tell you when and how you're going to die. They creep people out a little bit. Now, because the player character in Reckoning has this unique attachment to fate where you don't have a destiny, and therefore you can choose your own and change the fates of those around you, Fate Weavers don't really know what to make of you. And they quickly find that they can actually use their destiny cards, these tarot-like cards, to change your destiny at your request.
Come, see what the future holds for you.
So we can talk to Mari here and see the destinies we've unlocked thus far and switch over to the Shadowcaster destiny. Now this makes us do more raw elemental damage, which is good for this particular hybrid build, but also it changes that teleport move we were doing earlier. Now it'll actually poison enemies as we teleport through them. This cow looks like he needs to die. Yeah. So it's a thing that takes advantage of that hybrid. You know, as a mage, you got all these elemental bonuses. As a rogue, you're good with poison and bleeding effects. You just poisoned a chicken to death. Really? Okay.
And that was actually another question that we had from one of our Facebook fans was, can you kick the chickens in game?
So you can't kick them, but you can kill them in a wide variety of ways and send them flying, or poison them as you teleport through them, as you've seen. So now, having switched over to the Mage Rogue hybrid, we're going to go ahead and enter the Dungeon of Verki, where Anella is apparently hiding. Somewhere in here. Allegedly. Creature up ahead is a bar guest. See if... Oh, yeah. So actually we're going to go ahead and map the abilities a little bit differently. We were using these more mage-themed abilities earlier on in the demo. So now Joe's going to map those abilities that he bought when he leveled up. The Smoke Bomb and the Frost Trap, and use those in the fight. Place down a Frost Trap. Make a bar guest sad. Nice.
Now Joe was remapping the skills.
Mm-hmm.
Some of our Facebook community have asked if it's possible to remap the D-pad with different armor or equipment.
So the D-pad actually gives you quick access to potions. So although you can go to a pause menu and drink potions that way, it'll let you quickly drink health or mana potions in the middle of a fight. It'll just use the crappiest one you have so you don't get screwed. The other thing you can do is actually map a primary and a secondary weapon right on the face button. So instead of switching between sets with the D-pad, you actually have two active weapons at all times that you can just use instantly. And that's why you see he has the daggers and the chakrams here, and without switching anything, he can just go right back and forth between them, even in the middle of an attack chain. And there she is.
Die to Other.
Smoke bomb. Oh, very sad. Oh. I like how he's still poisoned as he's falling. There's like a little bit of ice, a little bit of poison as he's bleeding to the ground. Yes, she did. So all the different characters in the game have their own kind of behavioral packages. I'll wait while she talks. Okay.
Unless you're going deeper into Verki, I'll take my leave.
Yeah, in the case of an archer like her, they'll generally try to keep distance, and in cases of groups of archers, they'll try to fire in volleys, like, loose, and all the arrows go off. Okay. And what some of the archers will do, like the enemy archers in the game, they'll actually kind of cower when you get close, like, oh, don't hurt me, I'm just an archer, and then they punch you in the face if you just wait there. So, yeah, don't trust the archers.
Until the work is
Fun
done.
fact.
You'll just have to help. They're coming in through the water gates in the depths of this place. They must have found them. That's their way in.
That's another cool thing. You won't see them in this particular demo, but the kind of rogue or bandit characters, the really life-nimble guys, they will dodge your arrows. Hop to the side, it's pretty cool.
You fight well enough.
All right, so I am a horrible person, was talking over her dialogue, but what she was telling us is that these Tuatha are all here for a reason. They found a secret tunnel underneath the body of water to the east that's actually leading them right here to this dungeon. And so what she wants us to do, or help her with, is shut down these 3 gates that are letting them come through from the inside. So once we've done that, they won't be able to keep pouring into Arethel. Yeah, let's go ahead and... so this purple glow up here tells us that this sarcophagus is booby-trapped with something called a ward. Spellcasters will tend to put these on their valuables in the game, and if you set off the ward, it'll either blow up in your face and cause damage, or it'll give you a curse that then you have to go find a way to get rid of that curse. So, generally speaking, you want to invest in the dispelling skills so you can more easily get through these things without setting them off. We've got a fair amount of points in it here, which makes this minigame quite a bit easier for us. Voila. Now, one thing we haven't had an opportunity to do yet, because we're already decked out with pretty awesome loot, is that as you loot guys in the game, you can actually compare or equip those items directly from the loot screen. You don't actually have to go in your inventory to do it. Don't forget about Tempest. It's all about the Tempest. Not there. There we go. Oh, he's running out of mana. Yeah. Another group of Tuatha down, and we're getting closer to those gates.
All right, ugly in the background.
Yeah, that'd be a Bolgan. The Bolgans used to be sort of the Fey masters of this entire area. They had this massive kingdom and all this, gold and riches, and they've kind of fallen apart since then. At this point, they're just these loose, scattered groups of tribes. Don't let him see you.
Close.
Be very, very quiet. They're hunting Bolgan.
That looks like it hurt.
Yeah, that'll do that. So yeah, we have all these different stealth kills, sync maneuvers like that you can do to most of the types of enemies in the game.
Okay.
And that's Tempest. I like it. It's really built for groups. It's so pretty. And he's pinned to the wall. That's awesome. So we look over to the right here, we see we've actually just sealed that gate. So if we can get the other two, no more Tuatha. Nice. You can push him back into the trap. Ouch.
Now you've got the trap on the ground there. Is it possible to recover that trap?
You don't actually need to. There's an actual limit on how many of those traps you can have down at a time. So if you'd placed, 3 of them, that one would disappear, and then the third one would appear.
Gotcha.
And as you invest more points in that ability, your limit of how many you can have at a time increases.
Okay.
And that's actually considered, because it's a combat ability, it's not like part of the crafting systems. You don't have to use components or anything to put those down. Oh, he doesn't know we're here. Try to pickpocket him, he didn't have anything cool. So we will punish him with death. Yeah. He's a Tuatha, they deserve it. And another gate closed.
2 down, 1 to go.
Yep. Now, if we didn't make too much... No, we made too much noise. They know we're here. So that's another thing about the stealth system, is it reduces how much your actual audio output is as far as the enemies are concerned. So it'll sound the same to the player, but the enemies don't hear you. Be a little more destructive without bringing an army. Yeah. Yes, I mean, Joe is our lead combat designer, so he's very, very good at the game. So it might be a little bit misleading, but we do have, different difficulty modes in the game, and everything's set up so that, if you're extremely good at action combat, you can do things to make the game more difficult for you or take a higher difficulty mode. If you're not as much into the action combat, you can either grind to just become more powerful and get through it more easily, or you can just build your character in a way that lets you be more strategic about battle, like things with those traps or the Mark of Flame ability that we've shown in other demos.
It's finished. Return with me. If I know my father, he'll want to thank you in person.
Another cool thing is the way that our hit reactions work. So like when you hit an enemy and he goes flying in the air, gets knocked down or whatever, those work differently depending on the levels between the player character and the enemy. So if you're just a really good action gamer, you're like, RPG, and you just want to kind of burn your way through it, you can't really do that. If you get more than 3 or 4 levels out of where you are, like above where you are, the game will change the hit reaction. So your hit like this that would normally knock that guy down, doesn't. He just shrugs it off, and vice versa. Things that normally you could shrug off, drop you to the ground or send you flying. It's still possible to play the game for areas that are considerably over your level, but it makes it quite a bit harder. So, nice. The Bolgan have these big-ass shields, so the way to hit them is from behind. You can fight them from the front, but it's not very effective.
Still taking poison damage.
Mm-hmm. Come here. Come on, step on these crystals. They're nice crystals. Oh, so sad. Alright. There it is.
Poor Bolgan, nothing.
So what you just saw there is called a fate shift kill. It's sort of our ultimate expression of our combat loop, where you're going to just destroy not only the one enemy, in this case there's only one guy left alive, but you can actually set several enemies so their fates start to unravel, because again we have these fate and destiny powers. And then when you do the fate shift move on one of those guys, it'll kill all of them at once with a big XP bonus that applies to all the guys you take out. So now, having cleared out this area of the caverns and closed those gates, so in theory there's no more Tuatha pouring into the land, we can take this exit out and see a little hint of some of the other areas within the game world.
Okay.
And that's our demo for today.